Hey y'all. So my birthday is tomorrow, July 13th. I was born 1989 in Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada, at about 3:30 p.m. So, if any of you know anything about astrology, you'd be able to figure out what my, chart is. And I just feel compelled to share with the world exactly what it is because it is a wildly intense one. And in this one book that I have called Karmic Astrology, it says that our soul actually like chose, actually been told this by other spiritualities as well, that like our soul is on a journey through many lives, and then in each lifetime it like chooses its chart and like where it's going to be born and who it's going to be in its family and all of this. um yeah, and so my everybody's chart is designed on purpose. And it just seems like way too uh like precisely, planned out for it not to like mean something. Like uh, I just feel like a superhuman or something. Maybe y'all feel the same, and maybe we just all need to feel that way. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna take a moment to explain to you what my chart is, so you guys can all understand a little bit what it's like to be me and understand me a little bit better. So my sun sign is Cancer. I was born in July, so I'm actually very, very sensitive and very sweet and nurturing and loving and touchy feely and oversensitive at times. Can get really crabby if my needs aren't being met. Can be needy. All these things. But like, every sign has its pros and cons. And with Cancer, I would say the pros are like just sweetness and like genuine, like authentic. They can't help but just be themselves. They can't hide their emotions. And con being like, it can just be a little bit like annoying, like, needy and like too emotional and like, oh my God, the baby, they're the baby and the mother. That is the Cancer, like archetype is the crab. Yeah. But like child mother relationship, that is Cancer. So I have Cancer in Sun, and then, there's the moon and rising, which is where the sun was in the sky to where you were born on the planet. So, like, where you were born and what time will tell you what your rising sign is. And mine, rising is in Scorpio, and my moon is in Scorpio. So, if any of you know what that's like to have a freaking moon in Scorpio, and then your rising is also in Scorpio, and you're a Cancer, do you know how much you feel everything? You feel it so deeply and so intensely, you could get completely lost inside yourself. I had people tell me before. Um, One was an astrologist, and she's like just very, like forward and like abrupt about stuff sometimes. And she's just like, I told her this. She's like, oh, you are fucked. I was like, well, thanks. But it was also really validating because I'm like, fucking thank you. Like somebody gets like how hard it is for me to be a human here. And then another person, when I told her this, she's like, oh, she's like, those are the people who go crazy. And I'm not surprised. I was like, well, thank you. Like, I feel better about myself because I haven't gone crazy yet, and I honestly do have like my privilege to thank for that, which is why I'm also feeling like I need to be a voice for people who have gone crazy because the world is crazy, okay? You can't be a sensitive human in this world and not fucking go crazy or be on a million different drugs to help you not go crazy in this freaking made up world, you guys. It's made up. We made it. Like everything we have to do, all of these things we have to accomplish, and like all of these ideas we have about what we're supposed to do in society, we made it all up, and we're supposed to actually be much more sensitive and much more magical than we let ourselves be. So again, about the mermaid and giving up her voice and all that, a freaking spiritual fairy tale creature wants so badly to become a human, so she gives up her voice. Anyways, yeah, so Cancer, Scorpio, Scorpio. But then I also have my Mercury Mercury is also in Cancer. And so what that means is just like Mercury is basically your filter over top of your sun sign. So it's basically like going to influence how you interact with people, how you express yourself, how you feel in interactions with others, like how you communicate. And like basically what it was saying about having Cancer in Mercury is that you're a cosmic nurturer. You care. You just care. You care about everybody in conversation. Like you feel your way through the conversation. Your language is emotional. You emote. You emote when you speak. So yeah. So Cancer and Mercury, Cancer Sun, Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon. You guys, that's just too much on a person. And then you put, this is why I am the way I am. You now take Venus and Mars, which are on the other side of the planet, and put those in Leo. But just, just throw fucking Leo influence to all of that emotion. Just like get this like bold, aggressive, loud, look at me, performative, expressive, energetic, life of the party. Meanwhile, Cancer is like, it's Cancer Scorpio is like, I'm scared. Just let me hide. No, just let me hide. I'll die. So you wonder why I'm dramatic. Well, now you know. But then, I'm okay still, and I was okay growing up. Okay, this is what saved me growing up is I have Capricorn in Saturn, Capricorn in Neptune, and Capricorn in Uranus. So I got all this fucking intensity on the inside, and then on the outer planets, it's like, keep it contained, keep it contained, keep it contained, keep it organized, keep it steady, don't explode. You're gonna be okay. So this is why I do really well in meditation. Like I'm able to just like sit and be a tree for like hours at a time if I commit to it. But there's a whole lot of rebelliousness that I didn't get to be when I was a kid, that now is happening as an adult. So like I was really, really good in school. I was super freaking committed and like disciplined. Like I was my own parent, and when it came to doing my schoolwork, to getting straight A's, to fucking having like such a busy schedule and like, do it the best. As best you can. Work really, really hard. Work really, really hard. It's all about working really, really hard. And I've been working really, really hard. And what the fuck do I have to show for it? A certification in energy healing. If you want an energy healer. An early childhood educator certificate. If, you want to hire me at your daycare. But honestly, I don't want to work at your daycare. I'm done with working at daycares. They suck. Like the whole childcare system needs to be completely imploded and reorganized. Forest preschool is awesome. I was doing that, kids outside as much as possible. Like hone in to each child's individual interests and support them in those. Duh. Do that. Not this ridiculous system that we've made. Ugh. Anyways. So yeah, I had to get out of the childcare field because I'm like, whoa, way too big of a mess. I'm feeling it all, but I can't do anything about it. So I gotta get myself out of there. And so now I'm like left like, okay, so like now what? I don't have any money to go back to school as much as I'd like to. I'm a little bit broken down, as I'm sure all of us are right now. So that's what you see before you. This Rooster guy is me being like, oh, right, well, this is what I'm being called to do. We have to just follow our hearts and our souls. We have to, because the world is falling apart. Everything is wrong. Everything we've been taught is wrong. Just like listen to your heart. What is it telling you to do? So Capricorn has helped me, has really, really helped me be structured, be steady, be a fucking tree. Thank you, Capricorn. It is about one steady step at a time, like the mountain goat up the mountain. What I've been told about my Saturn into Capricorn is that you are going to bit by bit pave your own way. So that is why I have not killed myself yet or exploded. But also I wouldn't have, I don't know, who knows? Who knows what my life would have been like? I have my family and my friends and my upbringing to thank for why I didn't go crazy, why I haven't committed suicide, blah, blah, blah. All of those people who have chosen to kill themselves or are now like in an institution or on the streets, like, it is not their fault, you guys. Everyone is someone, and it is not their fault. The world, they were not supported in the way that they needed. Okay, the pain, the wrongness, it goes so deep for so long. The trauma, the gets passed on generationally. The abuse gets passed on generationally. It's not the fault. It's not your fault the way you are. We just are the way we are, and that's the whole point, is we have to love ourselves for who exactly we are, and we have to find out who we are first, and that is the hard part. You know, you got to go really, really, really deep, and you got to be really, really honest with yourself, and you got to feel so much pain to get to truth. Truly. So, that is the Rooster rant of the day. Oh yeah, and I just wanted to throw in there, my Pluto at the very end of it all is in fucking Scorpio, which is death and transformation. So I have, 3 Scorpios, 3 Cancers, 3 Capricorn, and then Mars and Venus are in Leo, and also my soul pattern. So I'm just going to go back to this now and say soul pattern and potential, and I'm going to explain that a little bit about the souls choosing your own, like, avatar. Every time you come here, you choose your own personality, where you're going to be born, blah, 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 blah. I said that. So that you can move along on your soul journey from where you started, which is called your soul pattern, to where you want to go, what your soul is capable of, what your soul wants to be, the soul potential, from your pattern to your potential. So each person is going to be different. It depends on what year you were born. My pattern is in Leo, which is like a freaking wrench in the face, because so is Mars and Venus for me. And Mars is war or anger, passion, and Venus is love. And so basically what it's saying is you are capable of being your worst self when you're angry and when you're in love, because they're both Leo. And it's also why I haven't been able to be like, to really put myself out there as, hey, look at me, because Leo is my past, and that is not leading me to my potential. And so I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid of all of this, like, attention. I'm afraid of power. I'm afraid of being on the pedestal. I'm afraid of being in charge, being the leader. I'm afraid of it. I don't want it because of all the trauma from my past of doing this and failing, doing this and hurting people. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I don't want to fail. But what this book says is to actually focus not so much on what your faults and weaknesses are. It's okay that you are this list of faults and weaknesses. There's this book called Creating the Life You Want by Knowing Your Soul Potential. I don't know, something like that. It's Karmic Astrology by Linda Brady. I don't have the book right now because I lent it to a friend, but it gives you the list. It says, like, your soul pattern is in Leo, and then it tells you words that are like your faults, basically. It's really, really hard because on there are things like self-centered and egotistical and what is it, like autocratic, or is that in Capricorn? Anyways, just stuff that like I can't help but be anyway because of my Cancer and Scorpio and Leo stuff. So it's like about finding that balance. And so instead of being like, I can't be this list, look at this list and be like, oh, I'm gonna be everything but that, which is actually what like your soul's response is going to be to the pattern, is like, no, those are all things that I do my best to not be. I'm not those things. I do my best to not be those things. Because you're afraid of the past. You want to be anything but those things. But it's not about not being those things, because those things are you. You came from that. They are in your darkness. They are your, pain. They are your trauma. They are your weaknesses. They are your shadow. They are your ego. Rather than ignore them and rather than focusing on not being them or beat yourself up for being them, you focus on your soul potential. You focus on what your soul wants to be. So you take everything about your personality, about what you have to offer, and you focus on what your soul wants to be. And for me, it's in Aquarius, which is the polar opposite of Leo, because your soul pattern and your soul potential are going to be polar opposites of each other. So you focus on all the things that your soul wants to be. And that's what saves me. That's what this one astrologist said to me, was that the Aquarius is your saving grace. It's the one thing that is keeping you opening up again to broader perspectives, to seeing outside of yourself, to seeing the bigger picture. And what's cool about Aquarius, it's actually the age of Aquarius right now, by the way. So we all need to be adopting more of an Aquarius way of being, which actually we are, because Aquarius is about, social justice. It's about humanity. It's about being an individual within a collective. This whole uprising and movement for trans people as well. Like Aquarius is what do you call it? Androgynous. Like they're one of the only two signs in the zodiac. Every other sign has a feminine or is a feminine or masculine sign, and Aquarius is androgynous. So is Virgo. But yeah, so we're doing it. We're doing the Aquarius thing. But it's like equality. Aquarius is about equality. Aquarius is holding these vessels of water. So it's about understanding our emotional nature, but having the sense and overall seeing to advance us, evolve. Because it's also about technology. Aquarius is about, and so we need to actually, like, it's okay that we're advancing with technology, but we have to do it in a way that's going to be in harmony with our environment. Bottom line. Yeah, and I'm just going on and on and on now, but Aquarius is also about quantum physics. Aquarius is about understanding how all of reality exists in a single instant. All that exists in a single instant. So everything is possible. Reality is a facade. We are all one, actually. We're all one being going through many different experiences. And on like a literal physical level, because 3D reality does exist as much as 4D, as much as 5D. 3D exists. And in this world, we are destroying ourselves. So why don't we all just get our freaking act together collectively, individually, start with yourself. And yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. That's my share about my own chart. I encourage y'all to look at yours and see what it tells you, what you can learn about yourself. Thanks for listening. Cock-a-doodle-doo.